And now the closest battle on track is actually the battle for the race lead for the first time this race. So it looks like this could be it for Fabian as he gets really close to Thijs this lap.
Fabian only has to get ahead.
Fabian has to get ahead and pull a gap of 5 seconds, which is very possible with the pace he has. So there he goes. Will he make a move down the side of the chicane? Oh, he's really close to the back of Thijs. He almost made contact with him through there at the bus stop.
Far off the track there.
Fabian is so close to the race lead now, 4 tenths between the two of them. The last thing Fabian needs is a safety car because that penalty will be really costly at this point. Max has a massive slipstream and he crashes by himself in the braking zone. He crashed on the braking. Will that be a safety car? And it is a safety car. And that is disaster for Fabian.
What? Max drove straight into me.
Ian, should have
I
pit,
was on the inside, very deep to the inside, almost on the grass, and I saw it going. Max, what the heck? You drove into me.
Yeah.
Why?
Didn't mean to.
Daan, zeg even snel, waar moet ik naartoe pitten? Want het regent
Nog niet.
Oh,
Pit
fuck's
nog
sake.
niet.
Dit is wel de perfecte tijd om te pitten.
Ja, maar het regen is nog niet weg.
Nee, maar dat is waarschijnlijk ook echt over 1 lap. En als we daar aansluiten, daarna is de regen wel weg, denk ik.
Ja, dus ja, je
Alistair?
kan...
Yeah.
Hi.
Hurrah.
Oh, that's pissed me off so much.
I'm gonna go in for softs.
I was about to dry up as well. I had damaged wing, that's why I was so slow.
But wait a minute.
It's not dry yet though, it's still raining.
Yeah, it's
no,
drying
I'm
up like
gonna
next
fill.
lap. Yeah.
That's a good point.
Yeah,
The track
so
doesn't even
yeah,
look that wet anymore.
I can actually like... Because I'm third right
It's
now.
still raining,
and
it's weird.
I just saw in Austria... I got a warning under the safety car.
Daan, I get to drive through the delta, don't I?
Yeah, because you're so far behind. Dylan, you're allowed to speed. Just drive full speed, Dylan. You can drive full speed.
Yeah, if you're saying that Inter's still the best, that means it's literally like on changeover right now, like it's going from wet to dry. Because when
No, but if they just say that, it's probably just like... They could also be saying Inter's the best tyre because there's no way any other tyre's better.
No, because
Taking the chance.
if it's still raining, he'll be like, it's going to be raining for the moment, or it's going to be raining for the next 5 minutes.
Hey, say,
Oh, Fabian is coming in as well.
I think Fabian's gonna go for mediums
Go on,
as well,
Saf.
yeah.
I told Fabian to serve his penalty, but I don't think he will.
No, he has to. Otherwise I'll finish second
It will serve
anyway.
it. It'll serve it
He has to
automatically.
serve it.
No, because it's not a penalty he's got in the race.
Oh, what did he get a penalty
Shit,
for?
that was 2.3.
Running into Ian, he fucking drove into him.
Oh, bro.
Also, Oliver got a penalty, but he left, so it's fine.
Fabian's gonna go into the sauce as well. Fabian's on the softs as well.
Oh, Dan almost just spun out the pit lane as he came on the power there.
Why is
I
Tyson
did not
medium?
expect that, so
Thijs is on medium tyres, that's not good.
the race should just end. Me and Fabian can get past Thijs, because Thijs is still...
So that means Dan actually has a chance to win this race now with the 5 seconds for Fabian and the tyre advantage over Thijs. So this actually is Dan's best chance to win the race.
Fabian has to overtake Thijs and
It's still raining though.
If it's still wet when the restart happens, this could be absolute chaos on the restart. Ian is closing in now on this queue as we have to wait for Sander and Dylan now for the broadcast safety car to come. But it has stopped raining now, I think.
Yeah, I think it has.
It has.
It stopped raining, so by the time we restart, it should be dry.
There's still
So
a bit on the onboard.
it's still wet on. It's still spray coming off the cars in the Lacombe chicane, but there's still a lot.
It's just...
Drivers have to make sure they stay on the racing line, or it could really get fucked up.
Yeah, there's going to be some big late braking moments potentially, where people go straight on at the chicane, for example. The midfield battles are going to get very insane on this restart at the end. But soft tyres for Fabian and Dan, but medium tyres for Thijs. I'm not sure why he went onto the mediums. I think that's just because he has a 100-point advantage in the championship and he has nothing to lose by trying it, so... Thijs might as well just have some fun in this race. Try and battle with these guys behind him. Yeah, he's leading by almost 100
How
points.
much do you get for winning?
25.
How many races is left?
Like... 8. Is 8.
Yeah,
Or is
after
it
this,
7?
6.
6. There's only 6. Shit, there's only 3 more
No,
weekends.
7, no, 7, I forgot.
What's the bonus race?
Well, yeah, technically 8 then, if you count the Monaco Expedition race. Yep, it's
Yep.
dry. It's dry.
Yeah, it's dry.
It's got coming in.
Shady dry.
They'll come in next lap, I think.
Oh.
Ja, en Ian anders is.
There's
Ja,
Ian
dat
was
gaat
just
heel
died.
lastig zijn. Ja, dan heb je de podium. Ja, ik ook. Ik moet thuis, ik moet alleen voorbij jou gaan. En dan Fabian.
Oh shit, I realized.
Hoezo niet?
Hier,
Kijk, Fabian.
abundelijk.
Fabian, you have 5 seconds. Remember, you have 5 second time penalty. So, I don't know why you didn't observe it in the pit lane. You could have won if you served it in the pit lane.
I literally messaged him in the chat telling him he has a penalty and he didn't serve it. He didn't read the message, so it's his fault.
What did he do?
He just drove straight into Ian. To be honest, I think the penalty is really warranted. Because, like, he literally tapped him. It was such a small bit of contact. It's the fact he kept pushing him around, though, because he could have just braked a little bit. Because, from my perspective, I saw Fabian tapped him, and Ian got a little bit, like, of oversteer. And then he just kept driving straight through the back of him and spun him around, so... He didn't even, like, slow down. He just drove up that he wasn't there.
Start of the
Yeah,
race or
so
something.
penalty.
Yeah, it was lap, like, 5 or 6 or something.
Oh, it pissed me off that it started raining, man, because I was literally catching ties.
Yeah.
Like, the only place where I was catching him is in the corners. For some reason, he's got, like, 0-0 wings, and he's insanely fast in the straights.
Yeah, no, Tice has that kind of setup. Don't know how he drives like that, man.
In the corners, so it was, like,
Fabian has so much speed in the corner. He's actually pretty good on race pace anyway, though.
yeah. With perfect,
You wanna go in this lap?
with, like, good laps where I made no mistakes, I was gaining, like, 3/10 on him a lap.
Yeah.
Okay, here we
You
go.
made a few mistakes though. You got was in like 3.8 and then you went down to 4.6.
Fabian,
Yeah, it's because that's... It's
Dylan, the
'cause
championship leader. Why?
It's because I oversteered literally on this corner here.
Yeah,
And then I
yeah.
lost that entire second. I was like, fuck's sake, because I lost all of the time that I made. And I knew it was going to be so hard to regain it.
That's why you don't drive with fucking no traction control, you weirdo.
It's faster though.
Yeah, if you don't make a mistake. It's so hard not to make a mistake on this shitty game. On F1 2021 it was faster, yeah, but on this game it's
Oh,
just
yeah, yeah.
risky.
It's a game, like, the game's so sensitive to the throttle, it's so annoying.
that's not possible.
You can change that in your settings, you know, right?
I now
Yeah, I
know.
know, I have, but
Okay,
it's still really sensitive.
Fabian knows.
I'll change my
Okay,
settings, I think it's pretty good.
Immediately go in this lap. I can't drive! I can't speed, I can't, sorry. Ian, you have damage.
The boy's a liar, the boy's a liar. I fucking hate this song.
Did you get it on an ad?
Yeah. Oh my god, KSI, I love that guy, he makes such good music.
From Ian's perspective.
Yeah, I will.
Restart.
I want to.
Ian, why are you on the
Gonna watch
medium?
Fabian on the restart. And we're going now as Fabian has...
does not have a good restart.
Fabian's very close to
Fabian, is
Tyson
he gonna
going to
send
turn
it off
1.
the inside?
Fabian's going to make a move down the inside. This is very aggressive to do it so early on the restart. He's already made a move at turn 1 and pushed his tyres wide. Dan goes wide as well now. He's gone off. There's only 3 laps for Fabian to get a 5-second gap for the race lead, so Dan actually has a good chance to win now. Down the straight, what's he going to manage to do here? Tyson's using all of his ERS to try and get past Fabian, so is Fabian trying to defend.
For all 3 drivers.
This is going to be interesting as they head down into the chicane on the medium tyres. Will Tyson manage to make this move stick? I think he will. But will Fabian send it down the inside? Yes, he does with the tyre advantage. There's contact between the two, and Fabian spins around. And Fabian has ruined his chances of winning the race. There's another spin right behind them as Dylan hits the wall down at the Lake Combe chicane. And now Dan, with the tyre advantage, this is his best chance to win a race here. On the inside of Tyson, can he break this a 5-race win streak for Tyson this season? Or will he get his second win of the season now, as he won earlier in the season at Singapore? This could be a very big win for Dan in the championship. He could pull a gap over Fabian and Brett now, but Fabian has ruined his chances of winning the race, which were very slim, but still very much alive on the restart. As Dan heads through the S's now, heading towards Stavelo and Blanchimon at the end of the lap. As a crash behind, Ian has crashed hard at the into the tyre barrier there.
Break off. He bounced from one side of the track to the other side.
Big crash for Ian there as he bounced from one side of the track to the other. Dan is right behind Tyson this lap, but doesn't have the straight line speed and doesn't have the ERS advantage, so this is really good for Tice here on the medium tyres. You could have tried a dive bomb down there, as Fabian is now all over the back of Sander for third place, a podium place at least, but... Oh, almost at the back of him there, he's so much faster. As Dan gets the fastest lap of the race here. And Dan goes down the inside. Why are people overtaking at turn 1? They're just going to be vulnerable down the camel straight, so I'm not sure why he tried that. As now Tice already has an advantage going towards Eau Rouge and Radion. If he makes a move at Eau Rouge here, that would be very interesting. Dan has 28% ERS versus 85 for... This is, oh my goodness, on my screen. It looked like Dan almost braked in front of Tyson on my screen. What happened is Fabian is right behind and side by side on the grass. Overtake there from Fabian on Sander for third place, but of course he has the 5-second time penalty, so if Sander can stay within 5 seconds, he could still get a podium here. So Sander's chances are not over, and neither are Dan's for the race win, so it's going to come down to the final lap, I think. Dan has to overtake in this middle sector if he wants to win the race. I think that is his best chance, because if he can pull a gap in the middle sector, then he can probably win the race, but if he can't, then the straight line speed and ERS advantage goes to Tice, so I think this could be another win for Tice here at this rate. But Dan needs to try something, he needs to try a miracle to get this race win as he heads on to the final lap. DRS will be enabled on the last lap, so if you can stay behind him going down the straight, he will have an advantage, but Tice just has so much ERS that I don't think that will really matter as they come onto this final lap. ERS and Tice go well together, so we'll see if that can give him the run today. As Fabian's pulled a 1.5 second gap over Sander for third place. I think Fabian at this rate will get the podium. And we'll see actually, can he get close enough to Dan here at the end? Well, if these two at the front collide, we could see Fabian win the race still with the 5-second penalty taken into account. But that is very unlikely, because I don't know if Dan will be able to get close enough to Tice on this final lap, but we'll see. There's only one more lap to go. It's another race and another close finish being set up here as Tice gets the fastest lap of the race by around about a tenth over Dan's previous best, as Fabian beats it by almost half a second. He is really going fast here around the racetrack. That was more than half a second. That was a full second faster than the race leaders, so Fabian has the pace here. He just does not have the space to the leaders. So I think at the rate he was going before, he could have still won, but that is it, as Tice has absolutely pulled away and gunned it on this final lap with this huge advantage of ERS that he had.
205 miles per hour.
And 208, only gaining speed as he gets a purple first sector, 1 second faster than the best first sector of anyone so far this race. As Fabian gaining time on Dan. Dan's one chance to win has been rendered obsolete, so Tice will be on a 6-race win streak here. He just has so much more ERS in these races, and it just gives him race win after race win. And Tice with a 1.5 second lead over Dan in second place. Fabian in third. Might actually close up to Dan maybe in the final sector, I doubt it, but you never know. He's got a huge pace advantage over the cars in front of him. He does seem actually to be the best car on track, but he just didn't have the chance at the end after spinning after contact on the inside of Tice. A very aggressive move into the Lecombe, it just didn't pay off for him there, as Dan can't keep up even with the tyre advantage in the middle sector. He's only managing to keep the gap the same at 1.5 seconds. He's 3/10 up on this middle sector, but I don't think that's enough to beat him. Tice is going to win. Unless he spins at the final corner, Tice has an easy win here and maybe the race. And Tice it is that comes around the final corner. He's used all of his deployment available to him this lap. Through the final chicane at the bus stop. No luck up as he comes across the line. Tice wins the Belgian Grand Prix and gets the fastest lap at the end. Dan gets a penalty.
I got 2 of my warnings under the safety car, man.
And Fabian will finish the third because of his 5-second penalty. And Sander gets 4th. Dylan gets a tied best performance just like he did last race with 5th place, and Ian will get 6th.
The AI cars are so autistic.
What'd they do? Did they just crash into each other?
Yeah, no, he was literally just driving into Tice's car. Dan's car was driving into Tice.
Yeah, mate, this race is interesting. It's really boring.
Wow, what a crap.
Crazy.